All right, welcome to the Tale of Two Beards podcast. I'm R.A.P.
And I'm Buddha.
And today we're going to be interviewing our co-host Buddah. First things first, introduce yourself and let the fans know where they can find you.
Well, I'm a Canadian artist from the 705 region by the name of Buddha. You can find me on YouTube at the Mediocre Productions YouTube page. You can find me on my Instagram at Rolling Buddha and on Twitter at Rolling Buddha as well.
Dope, dope. Cool. So we'll just dive right into the interview. So Buddha's your name, right? So how did you come up with your name? Like, how did you become Buddah?
It's actually a funny story. I was hanging out with a few friends of mine, and I was a chubby kid back in the day, and we were all sitting around just chilling, hanging out, and one of our friend's sisters looked at me, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so fat that you look like Buddha." And a lot of people just started calling me Buddha at that point, just because of how big I was. And at one point, I just decided, you know what, instead of letting people use it as an insult to like call me fat and all that, I thought of it as, you know what, Buddha's a super peaceful guy. So I'm a pretty peaceful guy myself, so I'm gonna just roll with that, and then I kind of embraced it. And at one point, everybody was calling me Buddha.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people know you as Buddah. I was definitely talking to this guy the other day, and I had sent him the song that we had done together, and he's like, "Is that Aaron Buddah?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I know Buddah." Like, so many people know you as Buddah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious. A lot of people know me just as Buddha and don't even know my real name.
Yeah. All right. So my second question for you would be, what kind of vibes can people expect when they listen to any of your music?
The vibes that people can find from my music are primarily some old school type shit. I like the real old school type flow. Sometimes I'll hit kind of like a lofi jazz hop type feel, but sometimes I'll get a little more aggressive with it, and I'll get more in your face, a little more pumped up.
Right. Cool. Awesome, man. So yeah, my next question is, who can you say inspired you as an artist to start making music?
Well, I find a lot of inspiration from a lot of different artists, but like I've always looked up to artists like MF Doom and artists like Eminem, who are just really absurd and very strange and have like their own unique style of deliverance and lyricism. But then I also like appreciate other artists like Tyler the Creator, for example, who's also just kind of in his own lane. Just I find artists in their own lane that have their own individuality. Those are kind of the artists I look up to.
Yeah, I could definitely see that in your music for sure. So my next question to you is, with your catalog of tracks starting to expand, do you have a favorite track of yours that's out right now?
So far, I want to say my favorite track out right now is the one that we did together, Secret Tunnel, just because it was so fun, just to like rap with my brother, something that I've been doing, a large portion of my life, regardless, of situation. And I find out of all of my tracks, I have some really good lines in there that I'm really proud of.
Yeah, for sure. I could say when you sent it over to me, I definitely enjoyed just listening to the raw version of it. I was already like kind of hit me hard. I was like, yeah, man, this is so dope. And like you said too, like we've been freestyling together for a long time, but to actually have song out like recorded together is huge. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. And just a follow up question. Question to that. Just bit my tongue a little bit when I said that. So you were mentioning that you have some lyrics you're proud of. What is a lyric from that song specifically that you would like to highlight for listeners if they weren't able to catch it?
Well, some people might not understand that, like, because of the beat and the certain words that we were saying, it is very heavily based around one of my favorite shows as a kid, Avatar. So it's when I say the line, uh, these bars that I'm dropping is what you desire. Call me Prince Zuko, I be bending this fire. That was my favorite line for that beat, and just I thought it was a very clever line of me to put in there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I like that for real. The the one that stood out to me though was probably your rhyme scheme at the ending of the verse. Um, when you were saying you have the irresistible urge to rap, had it as a kid and never wanted to put it back. I really love that line. That was a good line.
Yeah, that one's another one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my last question for you before we move on is what's your plan for your future in music, if you have one?
Well, the plan is for right now, just put out a few tracks, get my name a little more known around, and hopefully in the next coming year, work on a small project, maybe a small EP or a small album per se.
Cool, man. Yeah, I definitely love to hear that from you. A little bit more of a project, a whole project, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Dope, man. Cool. All right, so we're going to be moving on to our next segment here. The podcast is called Quiz the Wiz. So before we get people on the show, basically we ask them three subjects. Give us three subjects that they think that they're extremely knowledgeable in. What we do is that we come up with a trivia game to see if they are knowledgeable. Basically, just call them out on their bullshit. You know. All right, all right. So, the subjects that Buddha gave us here were food, hip hop, and graffiti. Sorry, it's totally spaced out on the last one for a sec. Graffiti was the last one. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. Are you ready, Buddha?
Yes, sir.
Dope, dope. All right. So my first question to you: which New York rapper with hits such as "Touch It," "I Know You Want It," and "Hoo Ha Got You All in Check" was the voice of Reptar on Rugrats?
Uh, was it Buster Rhymes?
Yeah, it was Busta Rhymes.
Actually,
Yeah, man.
fuck yeah.
Busta Rhymes
fuck,
did the voice
fuck
for
yeah.
Reptar on Rugrats.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, did not know that until I searched that up. Pretty random.
No, I would have never known that.
All
That's
right,
actually a fun little factoid.
exactly. All right, so the next one is a true or false question in the food category. So, true or false? German chocolate cake is named after the country it originated in.
False? Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not correct, man. So, German chocolate cake is actually named after the person that made it. It originated in Texas and was named after Sam German.
uh,
Really
fuck.
stupid, you know?
Yeah, Sam German.
All right. So, we're move on to our next question. Our next question is a graffiti question for you.
Ooh la la.
There are many different forms of tagging. One called blank, in which one refills a fire extinguisher with paint, which allows for tags as high as 20 feet, is called what?
I know the art of doing it, but what is it called? um, I don't I have no clue.
You
I'm
want to
just
throw a
gonna say
random answer out there?
Yeah, I'm gonna say burners.
Burners?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought.
So the term that they use is actually called pissing.
Fuck. I was gonna
Yeah,
say hosing at first.
almost the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool. So now we're going to move on to our next question. Our next question is a hip hop question. Jim Carrey wrote funny letters to this rapper while the rapper was in jail during the 90s.
It was Tupac. Hey,
Hey, there you go. That'd be correct. So you get to hear the correct sound, the bell.
the bell.
All right, our next question is a food question. True or false again? So true or false? Most wasabi is just horseradish that's dyed green.
True.
Got it right.
Hell yeah.
So real wasabi is very difficult to grow and very difficult to maintain. So if you were to grow your wasabi, you wouldn't be able to keep it for a long amount of time. You would have to eat it almost right away.
Gross.
Yeah, so wasabi that they sell in America is like in Northern America is mostly just horseradish that's dyed green.
Gross.
Yep. All right.
Lies.
Live. All right. So your next question is a graffiti question.
Okay.
So are you familiar with Banksy?
I am familiar with Banksy.
All right. So Banksy is the most popular graffiti artist, known for his stencil art with political and anti-war themes. But he is based in which England town? England town, sorry.
Bristol.
That would be correct. Give you the bell. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to the next question. This is a hip hop question. True or false? It took Kanye West 15 to 20 minutes to make the beat for Otis on Watch the Throne before catching his flight.
True. It sounds like a Kanye thing. Yeah.
It is most definitely a Kanye thing.
Yeah. That guy's nuts.
All right, next question is a food question. In 2018, this Nestle chocolate bar completely changed its recipe without people noticing.
Oh no. I feel like any outcome from the answer, I will be deceived. I'll feel deceived from the chocolate company. Who is it by? Nestle?
Nestle chocolate.
Oh fuck! I don't even know what they make.
They make some
Um.
chocolate bars.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I don't. Jeez, Louise.
10, 9, 8,
Oh no! Oh shit!
7,
Um.
6,
Um.
5, 4,
Hershey?
3,
No.
2,
Yeah. Fuck. I'm gonna say
1.
Hershey's, even though I know it's wrong.
You say Hershey's?
Yeah. Even though I know it's wrong. Yeah.
So close. It's actually Butterfinger.
Butterfingers. I've never actually eaten a Butterfingers.
Never had a Butterfinger myself, except for actually, that's a lie. I've had them like the small, tiny, like Halloween ones before, like when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
I don't. I've never had a full Butterfinger bar in my life.
I mean, I've had buttery fingers.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We worked at Sub City, so we definitely had some buttery fingers. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. So our next question is a graffiti question. So what is a heaven spot in graffiti?
It's when you get super high up in a spot, like really above, like up, where nobody can really get to. Like you just look up and it's just there.
That's pretty much sort of the explanation I have for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's a piece of graffiti done in an area that's hard to reach. It also has a double meaning, meaning like it's really high, so people have to look at it like a heaven kind of thing. But also that it's in a high and usually dangerous spot, meaning that people usually risk their lives to go
Yeah.
spray paint in
If
those
you
areas.
if you fall, you will reach the heavens.
Exactly. All right, and now we're on to our last question. So this is a hip hop question. How
Shakaza.
many hours did Dr. Dre stay in the studio for without sleeping consecutively?
For 40 for 46.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, unbelievably, Dr. Dre stayed in the studio without sleeping consecutively for 79 hours.
70. I was gonna say 72, but I was like, that's a long time.
We're not going to defame Dr. Dre. There might have been some drugs involved. Who knows? But
You know what? If he did it, man. Regardless.
that's 79 hours. Bro, imagine how much
What
stuff you could do in that time.
What do you think he produced in those 79 hours?
Don't ask me.
Dr. Dre,
All
we
right.
need answers. We need answers, Dr. Dre.
All right. So before we tally up your score, Buddah, how do you think that you did?
I'll be honest, I think I did poorly.
Poorly?
Yeah.
Well, it seems that your score is 6 out of 4.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad.
You got more than 50%, bro.
Yeah.
Good job. So I guess you are knowledgeable in what the subjects you gave me.
A little more than I thought, I guess.
Had to get you those new questions, you know. No avocado stuff this time.
No avocado stuff. Lumpy wheatgrass.
All right. So with that, now we're just moving on to the podcast portion of our podcast, I guess you would say. So this would be, do you remember? Do you have something that you'd like to throwback Monday?
Throwback Monday.
Yeah.
A little TM in there.
Well, TM, TBM.
Fuck. TBM. Dude, do you remember Skate 2?
I do remember Skate 2, man.
Because I'm pretty sure that was the only one that had like the full out like multiplayer like challenges where you have to like skate the spot and shit.
They didn't have that in Skate 3?
Well, I think they had like multiplayer. I just think it was more of like a free skate around the area kind of thing. I can't really remember. I might be wrong. But I just remember like countless and countless hours on Skate 2, like in the basement of that house that you lived in with all of the, like when everybody lived there and we would just spend nights.
Bro, honestly, Skate 3 was a little bit, well, actually no, it's really hard to say because like I liked a lot of them for specific reasons. Skate 3 was really big for me though because of the whole park customization. It got like really really nuts, and I remember having people over, the same place in the house in the basement, and we just play we play Skate 3. We try to get the best scores. It's like everybody had fun no matter how much you got smashed at the game. And it was so funny because like Brian and I for like the longest time were like, it was just like we play skate with people and we just fucking wreck them, and then Brian and I would like end up playing together, and then we just like have a battle while everybody else is having a great time and shit. You know?
Yeah. Trying to see who can dethrone who while everyone else is just vibing out.
Yeah, man. Straight up, like Brian's always been my arch nemesis on skate for sure, 100%.
Well, that's how like I first initially met all those guys, was through playing skate. You know, like meeting Brian and Tom and Rusty and all them was just through going to that spot with you and just playing skate like hours on end.
Bro, I totally that's hilarious. I forgot about Rusty, like not about him, but about him being there at that time, because like he'd whip out random shit because he mostly just sucked at that game most of the time.
Oh
and
yeah.
Sometimes it'd just be like we're all having fun, we're all chilling, talking, and like not really paying attention, and then you just look back, it's like what the fuck, Rusty's in first place, you know, like when does that happen?
We must be sucking at this right now.
But no, he bust out crazy shit. You check out the replays, and it's just like
double miracle whip shit.
Dude, yeah, like you bust out crazy stuff. And as the thing too is that like Brian, like I want to say Brian has probably won like our little feud like more times than I have, just by slightly a little bit. But he's like really like combo and like lines, like focus shit like that, right? And I feel like
Yeah, well,
when I go do
he
stuff
has
on
that skateboarder mentality.
yeah, exactly. When I do stuff, I have that video game mentality, bro. When I go to play this game, I'm like, what is the biggest fucking trick that I could do? The craziest looking thing that's gonna give me a kabillion fucking points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember doing the. It didn't even get me that many points, but it was fun to whip out in front of people. Was doing the coffin backflips and front flips because like
Oh yeah, those are crazy.
yeah, nobody would think of doing that. And then like when you hit it just like perfect where your guy's feet are just coming back up, but it looks like you're gonna drop kick the ramp. It always looks so cool because it looks like you're gonna mess up and then you skate away and people are like, oh my god, what the hell? You know, like
Yeah,
yeah,
like
but
that was so nuts. Yeah,
yeah, it never gave me a lot of points, but it was like it gave me brownie points with the room and that's all that mattered.
yeah. Everyone was like, "Fuck!" Regardless of the points, that was sick.
Yeah. That was definitely a good time playing skate, man. I miss honestly like PS2 was fun. Like I had a lot of fun growing up playing PS2 and stuff.
Oh
But
yeah, most definitely.
PlayStation 3, it just got me like connected with so many random people that I never thought that I'd ever like hang out with or like be around.
Oh yeah, I've definitely made some really good friends through gaming online, like through the PS3 and the PS4, and just meeting people in the online community through like the vast games that I would play.
Yeah. And I feel like back then it was like, still slightly toxic, but like we still got like fucking like bullied and shit, right? So like we weren't all a
Oh
bunch
yeah,
of fucking tampons and stuff, you know?
oh
And
yeah, definitely.
I feel like now it's really hard because everybody complains about shit, right? And like PS4, it's hard to connect so much with people because of how toxic almost every single game is now. Like I can't even fucking play PGA Tour without somebody ripping me a new asshole because I shot it into the fucking water 36 times and they're tired of watching me play and they want to move to the next hole. You know what I mean? Like
I kind of love that though, because like it reminds me of like back in the day when like I remember me and you growing up would play Call of Duty and like just hearing the things that people would say and that we would say back. It was one of my favorite parts about playing that game.
yeah, like don't get me wrong, that's like still what I like, but the toxic part is like the aftermath of everything is that like this person will this person will complain and send fucking 40 reports about something stupid like
Oh
instead
yeah,
of, you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's not it doesn't
It was
just
just
end at the conversation.
there.
It goes further than that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I do miss about back in the day. Like people would just say the most ridiculous things and then they would just join another match and go on with their day and forget that it ever happened.
Exactly. Exactly. I was now like, yeah, for example, like I'm sure you already know this, but for everybody who's listening, I used to have my name on PlayStation was Add Your Mom to My Kills, and I had that name for like since I started an account on PlayStation 3, so I've had it for at least 8 or 10 years, 8 or 9 years. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
but
very
yeah,
familiar
so
with that one.
I just recently, a few months ago, got a message from Sony telling me that people have complained about my name and that I had to change my name. And bro, that pissed me
Ugh,
off because first
that's
of
so
all, I just
ridiculous.
had 8 years with 8 years playing with probably the same people I play with now that are now complaining about me. You know what I mean? Just a different
Yeah,
mindset at this point. And now because of the whole report, like cancel culture thing, they're coming here. They're like, oh, I'm going to complain about this guy's name 400 times so he has a different name because they could take advantage of the fact that my name is, yeah, offensive. Nobody's ever reported it. And if anybody has ever reported it before, it was never a big enough deal for them to make me
yeah,
change my
that
name,
you
you
would
know?
have. Yeah, in the past like 8, 9 years.
Yeah. So just like that's like a perfect example to see how much everybody's mindset has shifted. Like, it's okay to be like, whatever, like people should be a little bit more sensitive, and I totally agree, but people shouldn't be this sensitive. This is fucked. Like, people need to be bullied in life, like, in my honest opinion, because you need to have like a little bit of a harder exterior. It doesn't mean you can't have feelings on the inside, but like
Oh,
the
100%.
point,
But no,
I feel like everywhere, sorry for a sec there, everywhere,
no, no.
just you need to draw a certain line, right? So, like, for example, if I eat 400 cheeseburgers, I'm probably going to have a heart attack at some point, right?
Yeah,
So it's the same thing with bullying. You don't bully somebody until they want to commit suicide and they fucking hate their lives and they just have nothing else, like it's like when we were because you've been around my friends. We all poke fun, we call each other
oh yeah,
names and
100.
stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And outside of our circle, that seems so strange to some people, and it's like, but it's not. That's like how I'm able to deal with some of the stuff that I have. Like, I don't have so many insecurities because my friend Joel friggin' bagged me about them every single day while growing up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%. I totally understand that.
but yeah, that's just my opinion on that stuff.
No, I agree 100%. Because, like, you can go through life and have people pick on you for certain things. Like, I remember growing up, like, hanging out with you and your friends, you guys would razz me about certain things. And, like, if it would really bother me, like, actually bother me, you guys would stop out of, respect and shit. But, like, you guys would always pick on me for shit. And I feel like, I'm perfectly fine now. I still have a awesome relationship with you and most of those guys that we used to hang out with back in the day.
Yeah,
No
it's
harm.
true though. It's like, it's just knowing where to draw the line. Anything in excess is not good for anybody. Like, even getting the sun, you get a sunburn, get skin cancer, you die. Like, anything in abundance is not good, and it's just people at this point in our lives are just about like more and more and more, and not so much about drawing a line at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just makes it a little bit harder for everybody else. And the thing is too is like it's hard in some situations. So, like, for example, like in a situation like ours, like we came out with a healthy relationship, but in some cases, like some brothers wouldn't, or some siblings wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just like, yeah, it's just basically like it's a matter of circumstance of everything happening around you, right? Everything you're
Yeah.
experiencing. I mean, obviously, if I go to school and I see this person is like, parents are going through a divorce, and like he just broke up with his girlfriend, or vice versa, she just broke up, or whatever. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, your parents are divorced, you fucking loser," blah blah blah. That's not the
No.
the goal
This.
of, like, I want to say, effective bullying. You know what I mean? It's not like for perfect example, for a visual example, is Dazed and Confused, right? When they're running around with the paddles and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's something that's a little like over the top. That's too much, because you're like literally physically and mentally terrorizing somebody. That's
Oh
different.
yeah. Yeah. But it's like it's different. Like, that's extreme and that's too much. But it's different from sitting around like a table with a group of friends and like you see like your friend just sitting there and he, like, for example, knocks over a glass and he like spills a drink and you look over at him, you're like, well, look at you, you fucking dumbass, you klutz. And then
Yeah,
everyone shares a laugh and then it's like good times.
exactly. I feel like I don't agree at all with physical bullying, because I don't see like any kind of, like, how do you say, like, I guess, good thing coming from something like that, right? But
Yeah, no,
like,
there's
I
nothing good to
feel
come from that.
no, exactly. I feel like it's a little bit of a different case with verbal bullying, because you're able to kind of strengthen somebody's character through those means,
To
right?
an extent, though. Like
No, yeah, obviously.
some people also do still push it too far with the verbal bullying. You know.
Yeah. Well, it all comes down back down to drawing a line, right? So,
Yeah.
because like without limitations, shit's just crazy chaos.
Oh yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Everything in moderation, or everything has a limitation.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, man.
So going back to, do you remember? Do you have? Do you remember?
Hmm. Man, we went so far down the rabbit hole. I had something in mind, but now I don't even remember. Ironic.
That's what it is, man. That's how the
I
world flows around.
I remember when I used to hang out with Brian and we used to go to what was that store called? Kobe's in Chelmsford?
Yeah, I think
Chemi, Chemi, Ontario. Shout out.
I think they changed their name now. I don't think it's Kobe's anymore, but
No, it's not. It's like super convenience or super quick time convenience or something like that. Their
yeah,
name
it's,
sucks.
it's
But yeah, what I was getting at is that we used to go there, hang out, have a little bit of a left-handed cigarette, and then go get a bottle of blue raspberry Fago and a bag of Uncle Ray's chips.
oh yeah,
And
oh
bro,
yeah,
dude, like, I mean, as a teenager, I guess it didn't really matter as much because like some of us either had jobs or we had like allowances and stuff like that. But
mm-hmm.
bro, a bag of chips like 99 cents, and they didn't even care about including taxes, 99 cents.
Oh yeah, they
And
just hooked it up.
yeah, the bottle of pop was also 99 cents. So I go there with like $2.50, and I'm coming out with a full bag of Uncle Ray's chips, any flavor I want, and freaking Fago, bro. And that was like
Yeah,
the best.
yeah. I remember me and one of my old friends, Pascal. Um, we would go to the convenience store in the Donovan on Melvin Street. Shout out to the Donovan, Sudbury, Ontario. And I had no clue that they did this because I've been there so many times. I'm not sure if they still do. I should go check. But they had these candy bags, and Pascal was adamant that we buy nothing but candy bags. And I was like, okay, cool. So we bought a bunch of the candy bags, and you would open these candy bags, and they put little, um, how would you say, like little tags, I guess, or like little piece of paper that have like things written on them. And he starts going through all of his candy bags right then and there, and they were all like, one of them was like, "Oh, you get a free can of pop," and the other one was like, "Oh, you get a free like little bag of chips." So we ended up just buying like $2 or $3 worth of candy bags, and ended up walking out of there with like 2 3 cans of pop, like 3 bags of chips, like some chocolate bars, and all the candy that we had bought.
Damn.
Yeah, some convenience stores, like, you find the little hidden gems that you wouldn't think to go to, and like they have the craziest deals like that.
I know when we lived in Chemi for a bit, there was this like movie renting place. I think it was called Family Time, and
Oh yeah, family time.
yeah, bro, they had like the like everything, like all the gum was like exposed or whatever, like a normal gumball machine, but they had the
Yeah.
gumballs that was like wrapped in the tin foil, right? And then if you got the stuff that was wrapped in
Yeah.
the tin foil, then you'd be able to win a prize. It'd be like a movie, a video game, blah blah blah, whatever, like rental.
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh man, bro, did I ever have so much gum at one point, man? Like,
Just walking around with balls of gum all the time.
dude, they like honestly, as the owner, I'd be like, yeah, like you guys would get a prize, but Man, two at the most, two balls of gum is how much I would put in there. I would not spend my time opening the package to fill up the friggin' gumball machine and then wrap like 10 of or 12 of them in friggin' tinfoil.
Yeah,
Like,
throw them in.
no
And then you
thanks.
got to think, like there's people who will just roll up there because like what? How much is it to get a gumball? It's like what, 25
Quarter.
cents?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you just sit there and pop quarters in it all day long. Spend maybe like $5, get a game, get a movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not as expensive as just renting a bunch of shit, but it depends.
It's your luck. You got to
It's a
count on
luck.
luck.
It is. You can't count gumballs like you count cards and blackjack.
I can just see someone sitting there like, there's this many gumballs in the machine. There has to be this many wrapped ones in the order that I crank the thing. And then like just trying to analyze the whole
Bro,
situation.
you laugh, dude, but it's like, man, I remember in high school they had those was it the guess how many jelly beans or candies there are and shit. Man, there were kids that were sitting there and they were like fucking magnifying glass, notepad, friggin' pipe, sitting there trying to figure out
Sherlock
exactly how much.
Holmes.
Oh yeah, bro, trying to figure out exactly how much friggin' like they're like, okay, so every pack of like if there were Mike and Ike's, they'd be like every pack of Mike and Ike's has like approximately 7 green Mikes and 32 white Ikes or something stupid like that. And they're trying to
I
like
know.
find like a probing question to ask the teachers or like principal to be like, how many packs did you guys use or something? So they could just Google it after,
Yeah. I remember doing that in elementary school and just looking at it and being like, I don't know, I think there's this many in it. And then there'd be the other kids that'd be like, well, if you count all the ones on the side and then you think about like how many are across, then you do that and you divide it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yo, I don't have time to do it. I'm going to say a number. If I get it, I get it.
Yeah, man. It's like, dude, I don't. I'm a kid. I have other shit to imagine. I'm like imaginate and create and
Yeah,
stuff,
dude.
dude. Like I'm not sitting
Like,
here.
bro,
I'm not sitting here and I'm not friggin' counting these jelly beans for 2 seconds. I don't have the attention span to do that. I am sorry.
no, dude, I'm a child. I have a meeting with a dinosaur in like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I gotta go eat grass and kick rocks.
Oh man. Kick grass and eat rocks, he says.
Did I say that? I meant to
Yeah.
say eat grass and kick rocks. Either way, children, man, they do both.
They definitely do. You don't want no kidney stones though.
Stones in your kidneys.
I guess or in your stomach too. So do you have any big plans for Halloween?
I do not. I am most likely going to be working. And then if I come home, I'm going to pass candy out to, well, not if I come home, when I come home. I'm going to pass candy out to little children. And if I'm off that day, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pass
Nice.
candy out to the little children's.
Did you see some of those people? I think it was last year that they created those
Like the
tubes
zipline
they put on their
things.
railing.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically like yeah, zipline thing. I guess it would just like be like some PVC piping or something that just glue or friggin' tape to the railing so they could slide candies down to the kids.
I saw this one guy. He would sit on his porch and he attached like a fishing line to his stick at the end of his yard, and he tied like a ghost to the lure, and he would like pinch candy bags onto the ghost, and then like cast his like, or it was a fishing line on a drill. Yeah, that's what it was. So he can like make it go out and come back, and then it was just a ghost flying at the kids, dropping off candy, and then flying back.
Bro, okay, that's actually pretty cool, but I just thought of something. Fucking who needs to never experience Halloween and just stay away from us is those people who stay on the fucking porch in like a scarecrow costume or something and then wait for kids to knock on the door or like they're literally like a foot beside them and they're just like "Bleh!" Like those people need to go die, dude. Like I'm sorry, but like it's different if you're doing it to teenagers or like fucking adults, whatever, it's different. But you could possibly traumatize a kid for the rest of his life, dude. For the rest of
Oh,
his life.
100%. I feel like if you're doing it to a kid, you should do it like nicely, you know?
Just slap the kid.
Don't just like jump and possibly give this little 8-year old a heart attack.
No, definitely not. And plus, the thing is, it's like it comes down to the same thing, like you just said. You don't know anybody. You could know everybody in your like neighborhood, but like at least when I went trick or treating, it wasn't always just people in your neighborhood coming to your house. Like we were trying to hit up a bunch of houses, get as much candy as possible, right?
Oh, yeah, we were going everywhere.
Exactly, right. So you don't even some of these kids you don't even know. You have no idea if this 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever 8-year-old kid has a friggin' pacemaker because he has a heart issue, and you're just like, "Bruh!" just screaming like an idiot because you think you're hilarious. You know what I mean? Like
Dude, that's what I'm gonna do. Next time I see one of those people and they jump up and scare me, I'm just gonna hit the deck, bro. And I'm just gonna do the bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be free basing with Kevin Bacon right there on the floor.
But bro, man, I'm just like, I just thought of that. I'm like, how can these people are literal monsters? They're almost as bad as as serial killers, man. Like, like they're horrible.
They're attempted serial killers.
They are. They almost are, man. They almost are. Yeah, honestly, like it sucks with all the COVID stuff because like I haven't been well actually that's a lie. I went out for Halloween here in Toronto when I first moved here. But it's totally different as an adult. I don't like going to the clubs for Halloween. I still want to go get candy. Like my honestly,
Yeah.
like I don't condone this. Like I don't this is not I'm not promoting this to anybody, but my best ideal time for Halloween is get a bunch of my friends. We all do mushrooms. We all put fucking costumes on, and then we all go get candy. I feel like that's the best thing to do as an adult.
Oh yeah. Well, me personally, I don't like. Again, I don't condone this, but me, it's you know going out with a bunch of friends with a bunch of left-hand cigarettes, as you said,
Yeah,
and just collecting
yeah.
candy.
It's just like the people you're around is gonna make the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember one year, my best friend Joel and I, we didn't even go trick or treating. It was Halloween, and we were just chilling. And pretty sure we were at the park in Isilda. And I was like, man, I got the munchies. I was like, I want some fucking candy. And I was like, I don't have a costume. I was like, nobody's just gonna give me candy. So what we ended up doing is like, it was because we were a little bit further up north in Canada, so it was a little bit colder
Mm.
for everybody listening. But we had toques on while we were outside during October, the end of October. So yeah, fucking took my toque off and I messed my hair up and I went and knocked on a couple of doors. I was like, trick or treat. And they're like, what are you? I was like, I'm a homeless person. And they're like, what the fuck, dude? But they all gave me candy, man. So like, I mean, it worked. So I went back to the park after, hung out with Joel, and we had fucking chips and chocolate bars and some candy to eat. So I wasn't even pissed off.
Hell yeah. I remember to like a similar degree. I went to school one year, and like uh, they were doing like Halloween stuff, and like if you didn't show up in the costume, then you didn't do Halloween stuff because it was like a Halloween like parade to like show off costumes and shit. So I had showed up just like you know big hoodie, baggy pants, football jersey, And everyone was like, "Where's your costume?" And I was like, "Oh snap!" Because it wasn't actually Halloween day, so I forgot that they did that like before Halloween. So I didn't show up in a costume, and they were like, "What are you supposed to be?" And I didn't want to sit at my desk and like do work all day because that sucks. So I threw on my pair of shades that I had, and they were like, "What are you?" And I was like, "I'm the idea of chill." And they were like, okay. And I walked around school basically just Cheech and Chonging it out, just being like, yeah, man, how
Oh
you
my god.
doing? Everything's all right. And they were like, what are you? I'm like, I'm supposed to be the idea of chill. And yeah, that was my day. I just walked around chilling all day.
Oh my god. The idea of chill.
The idea of chill.
That's a good one. There's this girl that I went to high school with that I don't remember what her last name was. I know her first name was Mercedes. And
Benz.
yeah, no. But this girl every year of high school, she had the most like out there costumes. There was and she I guess she always kind of went for like the big box kind of stuff because it was like one year she came as a washing machine and she was just like she put like a box around her and then she had like an empty like Tide box or whatever and she like glued it onto it and it looked really cool. It was really well made. And
Does
then
she just always like box shaped items?
yeah, one year she came as like the crane game too. And then I think the last year that she was at the high school I went to, she went as Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or whatever. But all of her costumes were so awesome. I remember almost all of them.
Yeah. There was a few like people that were really creative. I remember back when I was young, um, with their costumes that they would come out with. Like I remember there was this one person. Ah, fuck, I cannot remember their name for the life of me. But every year they would just have the most extravagant costumes, and I was always just like, how do you do that? Like it's almost movie grade, like makeup and everything. And I'm just like, how do you just go all out like that? What the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy. They're just like her aunt or mom or something and just ex like 20th
Yeah,
century Fox makeup artist or something.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And then I've had like friends um, like I had my friend Eric. Every single year, he would dress up as Gumby for Halloween. Like every single year, no, no, like never not miss a year. You would see Gumby, and you would be like, "Oh, there's Eric," you know.
It's gonna be again.
It's Gumby.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the next segment. So this next segment is called "This Guy." So
This
basically,
guy.
what we do is that we grab five people who are doing stupid stuff or have been doing stupid things recently, and we give them a spotlight so we could shed the stupid stuff they've been doing.
Oh
All
yeah,
right. Cool. So number five would be a hockey player that goes by the name of Evander Kane. He plays for the
Evander
Vancouver
Kane.
Canucks. Evander Kane, yeah, almost like Lana Kane from Archer, but not that.
Like Lana Kane and Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield. But yeah, so anyways, this guy, he's under NHL investigation for giving the NHL a fake COVID-19 vaccine card or COVID-19, sorry, vaccine card.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. That's funny to me because like you're an NHL hockey player. Like obviously people will look into you and your medical records and find the facts. You can't just provide them with a fake COVID-19 passport if you're like that type of person. Like
Yeah, like honest, I totally agree with you 100% on that because it's like if you're just some random dude and like I don't condone getting like fake vaccination cards or whatever,
Oh no,
but
not at all.
if you're some random person, whatever, all the power to you if you feel good doing that, whatever. But like you said, like if you're in the spotlight, if you're an
Yeah.
NHL player, an NBA player, like if you have a platform at all, if you sell shoes, if you have a platform, bro, you shouldn't be just giving out fake vaccination cards and
No, because
expecting.
obviously people look into who you are and like what you do, and especially athletes. You know, they look into medical records and they test you. And
Yeah, exactly. They're literally always on top of their health all the time, right? So they're gonna be like, clearly, there's no fucking vaccine in your body, my guy. Like, what are you doing?
oh, dude, this guy,
Yeah, definitely this guy.
this
And with
guy.
that, we're gonna move on to number four. Number four, like I'm so disappointed to bring up, but it's UFC legend Chuck Liddell.
Oh yeah, Chuck.
Yeah, so on the morning of Monday, October 11th, he got arrested because the his neighbors ended up calling the police because they heard shouting, and then the police ended up coming to his house, and apparently there was like an altercation that happened, and it was getting physical. There was like no marks or anything on his wife, but there is a possibility of domestic violence going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking this
so
guy.
yeah, Chuck Liddell,
Like,
man.
I don't want to like make light of the situation because serious accusations, serious situations, but like, just imagine getting punched out by Chuck Liddell.
Well, you don't have to imagine. A lot of people have got punched out by Chuck Liddell, man. Like he's
Well, I have
a
not.
UFC. Well, I know you haven't, but he's a UFC legend. So like we've seen what it looks like getting punched out by him. It's not something that's like hidden behind
it's not
closed
a good
doors or
time.
anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
But
a
the
it's
thing
not a
is
good time.
like Chuck's been no Chuck's been well respected for a long time, and like he did have some issues with like um I believe it was like cocaine use or something like that before.
Yeah,
But it's always unfortunate when you hear about domestic violence stuff, you know,
no,
because
100%. It's
it
not
just
something that
it's brutal. It
yeah,
sucks because it's just like people should be able to just like take a step back, you know, like if you're in an argument with somebody and you feel like yourself you're getting heated, you realize you're heated, you realize how pissed off you are, you're just like, you know what, having this conversation in this emotional state is not good. It's not a
no,
like
yeah.
it's not going to
I need to
benefit
take
anybody
a
in this conversation.
I need to take a step back, go have a walk, go have a smoke, or if you smoke, go have a walk, go take a drive, something, just to get your mind, you know, get out of that get out of that mood, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah, exactly. And it's just it comes to the same like aspect of if it's a random person, I'm not saying that like beat the shit out of them, but if you're having a screaming contest with a random dude, that's different. But when you're in your home, like somewhere you're supposed to be comfortable and safe, and you're with somebody
Hmm.
that you also are supposed to be feeling comfortable and safe with, that should never
Someone that
be
you love very
an
much.
option. Yeah, that should never be an option to lay hands on them because like if like I said if I'm at a bar or at a club or whatever and somebody's like screaming at me, crapping on me, you know, I'm gonna yell at them. I'm not gonna try to get out of my emotions so I could come talk to this guy later. I don't give a fuck about this guy, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
if it's my girlfriend, my wife, a daughter, like son, anybody who I have a relationship with, I could never see myself just sitting there and doing that. I would love to, you know, be like, yo, you go outside, I'll go outside, and let's just chill, you know, like let's stay away from each other for however amount of time we need to, and then we'll talk about it at a better time, you know.
the situation.
Yeah. All right, but anyways, so moving on to the next person, number 3, would be a couple by the name of Jonathan and Diana Tobe. I think is how you pronounce her last name. So these people, Jonathan Tobe is a nuclear scientist that works in the United States, and not just him, his wife as well. They were both arrested after selling military secrets that they hid in peanut butter sandwiches, and they accidentally sold some to an undercover FBI agent, and they got caught.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, we got something. Wait, we got a laugh here. We got a laugh.
Not the peanut butter sandwiches.
So random. Like, what it like? You could tell right away from something like that it's the guy came home, right? And he's like, "Babe, I know how we could make more money." And then the chick's like, "I know how we could smuggle them." That's exactly how that fucking idea came about, bro.
Peanut butter
100%.
sandwich. Who's ever gonna look inside a peanut butter sandwich? And if they ever find the peanut butter sandwich, you could just eat it.
Yeah. And like the irony of the first person that they sell their shit to is an FBI agent. Like out of everybody that like they weren't even able to make like one sale or like do good or anything after like they're like, yeah, we made this plan, like we're gonna see it out, and then they just get fucked instantly. They're just like boom.
How do you think they did it? Like, how do you do you think they wrote it in peanut butter?
Honestly, like when I was reading the article, there was only pictures of them. There was no pictures of the peanut butter sandwiches. So I literally I
Well,
have no
yeah, they
idea.
have military secrets on them.
I feel like no, I meant that's not what I meant, but I feel like maybe they were just like diagrams or something or coordinates because we don't know necessarily exactly what the secrets are. They said that it was like something obviously nuclear because he works with nuclear shit.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be formulas maybe or locations of nuclear missiles. But man, like
Just
you're bringing your
butter
papers
sandwich.
home. You bring your notepad to work. You steal a bunch of secrets. You bring it home. Your fucking wife writes it down in a peanut butter sandwich. Fucking closes the goddamn sandwich. Freaking sends it out to some dude. Oh my god, man. Yeah,
The
that's
FBI
definitely
agent
earns the
probably
number
ate
2
it.
spot. What's that?
So the FBI agent probably like took photographic evidence for the FBI and then ate it to like get rid of the evidence.
Get rid of the evidence. Yeah, probably. Well,
How do you
I
want
don't
me to
know.
dispose of this? Well, I mean, it's a peanut butter sandwich. Might as well just fucking eat it.
It gives me like the Inspector Gadget vibes where it's like this note explodes like instantly or whatever there. Or this message will self-destruct. That's what it is. All right, so we're going to move on to number 2. So number 2 is a man by the name of J.R. Smith. So if you guys aren't familiar with this guy's a basketball player. He had an incident a few years ago when he was playing with LeBron James that basically, I think it was like he picked up a rebound or he got a pass while he was in the paint, which is the area that is extremely close to the net. So all this guy had to do was either shoot the ball or do a layup, and they would have tied or either won. I don't remember what the points were exactly. But this guy decided to run out to the 3-point line and not take a shot, and yeah, they lost the game because of that. So LeBron James was really pissed off. So that was just the background on this guy. This guy's kind of already notorious for being kind of dumb, right?
Yeah.
So I guess he decided to take a crack at another sport. So now he's officially a college golfer, and he had his first golf tournament recently, and it wasn't great by any means whatsoever. Some reporters were saying like the first, I think, first 4 or 5 holes, he managed to get like a 1 or 2 birdies or something like that. But the rest of the game was mostly bogeys, par or double bogey, and he ended up. I think he ended up achieving an amazing 6 spots above last place. So that's great. not only does he suck at basketball, he also sucks at golf too.
Wiener. Just stop playing sports. Go
I
do
mean,
something
like,
else.
was it Michael Jordan went to go play baseball, didn't do too great.
Went back to basketball.
Went back to basketball and then retired. So
Played with Bugs Bunny.
yeah, it's not unknown for struggling athletes to go into another sport, or people who are bored with their own thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like in Michael Jordan's case, it's like, if I win all these awards, like, what is there? Like, I just to smash my own records. Like, I'll smash more records somewhere else, you know. So my name's everywhere and not just in this one place. But yeah, so anyway, our number one guy takes up the number one spot. He goes by the name Chipper Jones. He's an MLB legend.
Chipper Jones.
Baseball legend, if you guys don't watch baseball. And yeah, so anyways, he attempted a game on Monday, October 11th. And there was a fly ball that was hit. And he was just like behind home plate or whatever. And he went to go catch the ball once it popped up. And it totally smashed him right in the face. Totally missed the ball. Yeah, so he just got the ball directly to the face. It's pretty hilarious. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few GIFs that you guys could check out.
GIFs or videos. I remember when I was younger and I got a baseball to the face. It's not fun, but I am not nowhere near a baseball legend, so that's expected.
Yeah, that's that's true.
Yeah, man, like, I don't know, man. You're a baseball legend. I don't know how long it has been since he had played ball, but
I'm not too sure either. I'm not sure when he retired. Here, I'll actually pull that up. Chipper Jones.
I just feel like, you know, if you're a legend, you should at least be able to catch a ball.
Chipper Jones, Larry Wayne. He was the number one overall pick in 1999 MLB draft, and he played from 1995 to 2012.
So, I mean,
So he's 49 right now. At this current time, he's 49.
49-year-old man couldn't catch a ball.
He retired.
A 49-year-old baseball legend.
Yeah, he retired like a few years ago.
Almost 10.
Crazy. Well, I have to say that I wouldn't feel too chipper either if I got a hard ball to the face. No, thank you.
No, that's not a good time. It's not fun.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on, even though you're going to be coming on again and again because you are our co-host. But I look forward to making more episodes with you.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it as well.
Awesome, man. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in who is listening. And on behalf of Buddah and myself, I'd like to say, keep it cool. Good night, everyone.